For today's Quickle, we're going to fold a paper crane together. So find a square sheet of paper, grab a seat, and I hope you enjoy. Hi friends, Quickle number 11. We're going to fold an origami crane together. So you're going to need a piece of paper. It needs to be square. You can cut one yourself. Oh wait. Got a piece of paper? Cool. So I just want to tell you really quick why I like folding origami cranes so much. It started in my freshman year of college at VCU Dance. As a part of our contact improvisation class as a freshman, we had to, as a class, fold 1,000 paper cranes as a group. So I think that meant everybody needed to fold something like 75 or so. So that became just a thing, and it slowly began to become just a compulsion. Every time there was like a receipt or anything like that, I would just do it all the time. And my senior year of college, my father was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He's fine now, all good, but there was a time I lived by myself for my junior and senior year in college, and I was just like going crazy with anxiety, so I would just sit at home and drink wine and watch Top Model for hours and just fold all these cranes and like just keep stuffing them into vases and vases and vases. And it's the only origami I know. So, and the only one I really care to know about. I don't want to fold anything else, so don't ask me. So yeah, so that's why I have this tattoo. This was one of my first tattoo was the tattoo on the back of my neck, but this was my second tattoo really, and this was really just to honor how much comfort that crane folding gives me, and the baby blue is the ribbon color for prostate cancer. So that being said, I'm still folding cranes to this day, and here we are. So I wanted to share this with you. If you've been around my classes recently, in November and in December, the election kind of reawoke a bit of a stress demon in me, so I was just sitting at home like folding just nonstop, and so I started to turn them into little mobiles and earrings, and I was sharing them with a ton of people. So I'm like a cicada. Every 10 years I come out and I get obsessed again. So that's the story behind it, and I'm on camera today. I never really do this. So that I can show you in real time. I think this would go very badly if I tried to do a voiced over, so bear with me if it's awkward, but here you are. Here we are. Got a piece of paper. And I'm going to teach you some kind of tips and tricks as to how I do mine. You kind of get to a certain point where you can like stylize your crane or whatever, and it's really not that stressful. I don't know if you've ever tried to do fold origami and you see the instructions on the pack and you're like, oh, what the heck is this? And it's just like all these lines and dots and you have no idea what's going on. That's why I want to teach you live, so you can do this with me live. So you can do this with me here and see an actual person doing it alongside. And I'm going to give you some of my little like insider tips on how to make them just right. So we got a piece of paper. Hopefully you have a colored side, whether it's a pattern or whatever, and a white side. The bigger the piece of paper to begin with, it's going to be easier, not ginormous. This is kind of a big standard one. So we start off with a diagonal fold, and I'm going to fold the colored part in. So I fold from one corner to the other. So far, so good. Open it up, do the other side, the other corner still with the colored part in. Okay. Now we're going to fold it horizontally, and then turn around. So now we have the white part in. So we fold from kind of side to side. You want to make your creases sharp and precise, of course. You're probably going to want a table of some kind. Don't just try to do this with your hands in the air. And so now we've got an open creased paper. So the reason I folded it in, the colored side in, is now it makes this next part easier. This is probably the trickiest part of the whole thing. But if you can hold it with your pointer fingers on the inside of the white side, think of it as you're bringing the diagonal edges together in the middle. And remember these like 1, 2, 3, 4, who you're gonna marry or whatever it is, these like fortune tellers, it's kind of what we're making here. And they're going to flatten it out. So you've essentially created a quarter size square from the big one. So I'll do that one more time. It's open, the color's on the outside. Pinch it with the pointer finger, bring the diagonals together, and then you flatten it out. And then you're gonna go ahead and crease the edges down. So now I've got this little square. So there's a connected corner at the top and kind of open flaps at the bottom. Turn the open flaps toward you, and then we'll fold everything from here on forward is super symmetrical. We're gonna do it on the right and the left and on the other side. And it's very easy. So you have it toward you. You're gonna take the right half, fold the top flap to the center line so that it looks like this. Yeah, so all I did, the bottom flap was toward you, folded it in, and you do it on the other side as well. So you do it on the left. So what you are left with is a sort of kite looking thing. Cool. From here, the top flap of the kite, we're just gonna fold down and make a nice sharp crease, like so. And that's basically to help set the bed. We're gonna open that back up. Here's the fun part. You open up the flaps, you peel the top part up, and you're opening it up, keeping this crease that you made at the top, and you're folding everything on top in toward the center line. See what I'm doing here? This is hard to demonstrate to a phone. So this part I've heard called the frog's mouth. Cool. So we've flapped that up. Now we do the whole thing on the other side. So flip it over. You've got the open part toward you. You do the same thing. Right side folded into the center. Left side folded into the center. So here you are with your kite over on this side. Take that top triangle, fold it down just to get that nice crease, and then you open everything up, peel the top part up, and this kind of takes a little bit of finagling here just to make sure it lays flat. And then you end up with the frog mouth on the other side. And now you've got these two little legs. Okay? Put the two legs toward you, and now essentially the same thing. The top flap of the right toward the center line. But here's a little tip that I find really helps when it comes later down the line. Rather than folding it all the way to the center, leave just a little bit of space. So I'll show you the difference. Here would be taking the top flap, folding it all the way to the center, looking something like that. That's just gonna create more paper that we're trying to fold later. That just makes it kind of like stuffed. So I like to leave just a little bit of space rather than fold it all the way directly to the center, but still try to keep that nice blade down at the very bottom. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm gonna do it on the other side. Folding it kind of almost toward the center so it looks like this. And then we just flip it over and do it on the other side, which should be a little bit easier because now you have that first side to kind of match your fold. Okay, so now we've got skinnier little legs, and basically from here we turn it inside out. So we're gonna fold the two top flaps toward that middle crease, pinch it together, and do the same thing on the other side. Now we have our fox face, ears, face, nose, could be almost there. So we have these two blades down. We're just gonna bottoms up, inside out. That's what I call this part. So you take this bottom point, fold it all the way up, like so. Same thing on the other side, fold it all the way up. Now you've got something that looks like this. And now we just have to fold this inside out. Same thing as before. Take the outer edges, fold it into that center crease. Same thing on the other side, fold it into the center crease. Now we have this. Almost there. Now we just have to pull the wings off. Ooh, that sounded violent. Pull the wings down. So this fat part here on the side, these are our wings. So you peel them out. Now it's starting to look like a little crane. This is where all the finagling starts. So I like to kind of pull apart just a little bit. These two tall pins are the head and the tail. Do kind of like a little, like a grab and a kind of a squishy down. You'll see some people, there's a little hole here at the very bottom. Some people put their mouth to it and blow it up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, obviously. And then kind of from here on out, every little choice is up to you, the artistry of what you do here. It's been symmetrical up until this point. Now you just have to pick which side is the head versus the tail, and you bend it. Everything from this point forward is up to you. If you want to make it nice and big and flat, you can put that down. If you want to bend the wings, you can do so. If you want to keep it nice and tall, if you want to squish it all together, see if it can stand up. See if it can stand up. And there you have it. Thanks so much for joining me. Only 999 more to go before you get to make your wish. See you soon.
I hope you enjoy